But I want to tell you another thought that we have to have as we approach Purim. I remember my son, Zalzan Gezut Avram Zelek, who was named after my father. When he was a little boy, he had such a kishran for gematrias. You know, there's some people that they don't see words, they see numbers. And you know, you and I wonder, how in the world did a kid come up with this gematria? It's right there. How come we didn't see it? Because we look at words, they see numbers. So I'll never forget, one time on Purim, he says to me, he says, Tal, look at that. Ish is begematria 311. L'reyehu is begematria 311. Ish l'reyehu. He says, that's v'yahavta recha kamoicha. The kid was 8 years old. I couldn't believe it. Ish l'reyehu, that's v'yahavta recha kamoicha. They're both the same. They're both equal. So I want to show you that, you know, I'm sure all of you know, because you're many big Talmid Chachamim here, what the Rambam says in Hilchas Megillah. It's very famous. What does it mean? Mutav la'odam laharbeis b'matanas of yonim. The Rav was telling me that's what he spoke about today in Shul. It's more important to reach out to those almanas, to those unfortunate people, rather than to have a big fancy suda and give fancy shalach manas, you know, with a theme. That's what we have to look at. You know, Purim is a time when everybody's so happy. But you know, I'll never, ever forget what Rebbetzin Jacobowitz, Allah Shalom, Amelie Jacobowitz once told me. My family was very close to her. And I remember I was walking Friday night. We were walking, I was friendly with her family. We were walking to Shalom Zacha. And we were talking about Rabbi Emmanuel Jacobowitz that had passed away a number of years ago. And she said something that went into my neshama. I can't get out of this. I can't get rid of this thought. And I never want to get rid of this thought because it's so painful and so important. And she said, Rabbi Krohn, I want you to know, the happiest days of the year have become the saddest. Now, when you think about that, you think about a woman sitting at a Seder table. Her husband was the one who led the Seder every year. What is greater than to have a husband at a table and with children and grandchildren? And now, Baruch Hashem, many of us great-grandparents already. There's nothing greater than that. But then when somebody is sitting at that Seder or a Suda of Purim without their spouse, how sad that is. The happiest days have become the saddest. We have to reach out to those people. That's who we have to reach out to. Shalach Manas is not just the theme and the jokes and the Wildkeit. It's all part of Purim. But Purim is those people who don't have what you have. That's really what it's all about. That's the Ish L'Reyehu. So I want to tell you one of the most touching stories I ever heard. And I heard it from some person who is so beautiful and so special. If you have the opportunity, the next time you go to Eretz Yisrael, go to see Rabbi Avigdor Nevensal. He's the Rav of Yeshivat HaKoisel, and he's such a Talmud Chacham. He's written so many Svarim, and he's the sweetest and the kindest person. And I remember I went to visit him once, and he told me, as we were talking, he said, you know, I used to go every day with Rav Shlomo Zalman. We used to go in a private basement, and for 2-3 hours, nobody was able to knock on the door. Nobody was able to call us. We would sit and learn 2-3 hours every day. So I said, was the Rav Maspid Rav Shlomo Zalman? So he said, yeah, of course, I was one of the Maspidim. So I said to him, tell me, what's the best story that you know of Rav Shlomo Zalman? He said, I'll tell you the best story that I ever heard of Rav Shlomo Zalman. And it has to do with Purim, as you'll see in a second. He told me that there was a girl in Yerushalayim that had a broken engagement. And she was never so zerbrochen. She wasn't a youngster. She never finally got engaged, and then shortly after it broke. And she was just devastated. And she said to her father, please, take me to Rav Shlomo Zalman, I should get a bracha. So, you know, there are these people that never get around to doing anything, and he always delayed it. He always had excuses. He couldn't go today, he couldn't go tomorrow, whatever. Finally, what happened, it was Purim. Purim, it wasn't working. She said, Todd, please, take me to Rav Shlomo Zalman. So you know these guys who don't get anything done, they leave everything for the last minute. So now it's late in the afternoon on Purim, and he remembers, he's got to take his daughter. So he goes to Sharei Chesed, where Rav Shlomo Zalman lived, and Rav Shlomo Zalman was sitting already about the Purim Suda. So he felt terrible. You know, he should have gone before, but he's got his daughter with him. What's he going to do? So he tells his daughter to wait, and he goes into the dining room where Rav Shlomo Zalman is, and he says, Rebbe, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, but my daughter is here. She has a broken engagement. Is there any way the Rebbe could just give her a bracha? So Rav Shlomo Zalman says, don't let her come in here. I'll go out to her. He says, oi, please, Chas v'shalom, I don't want you should go out. You're sitting with the family. I'll bring her in. Mishum oifenit. Don't bring her in here. I'll go out to her. Okay. He goes out. He says to his daughter, Rav Shlomo Zalman's coming. She's fainting. She can't believe Rav Shlomo Zalman's coming to her. Rav Shlomo Zalman comes to her, and she starts telling him that she had a broken engagement, and she wants a bracha. And all of us who ever saw Rav Shlomo Zalman, 500,000 people came to his levaya. You know why? Because he was the sweetest and the kindest person that you could imagine. If you ever saw him, you always saw him with that wonderful, radiant smile. And he gives a bracha to the girl, and he says, don't worry, everything will be good. This will be the year you're going to find the Richtige Zivug, and you should build it by Yisnem and by Yisrael. And he's talking from his heart, and the girl falls apart, and she starts crying. She's so overwhelmed by the kindness of Rav Shlomo Zalman. So Rav Shlomo Zalman turns to the father and says, now you understand why I didn't want her to come in. I understood that maybe she would cry after I gave her a bracha. Imagine how embarrassed she would have been in front of my whole family that she's crying. That's why I went out to give her the bracha outside. So like this, if she was crying, she wouldn't be embarrassed. That's Beinadon L'Chaverei. That's going one step further. That's what it's all about. It's not only that other person is your chayfetz shel mitzvah, that's a human being. You can't make a person feel like a nitzrach. You have to make the person feel that they are doing you the biggest favor, that you're able to do them a favor, or that you're able to invite them or to be with them. That's the sensitivity that Rav Shlomo Zalman had. That's the Ish L'Reyehu.